Are you still with us? Let me hear you. I've done 22 events in the last month. This is when it's all coming down to whether we're going to win or we're going to lose, and Virginia is going to lose. And that means you have got to do work going forward. I put 148,000 miles on my car last year, driving around all hours of the day and night, going to different places. I tried to go to places that no other candidate would go, because I believe that in a state like Virginia, the voters should see the candidates in person, not just on some Zoom call, not just $20 million in television ads, but put in the work. If you're serious, put in the work and show up. I tried to do that. I appreciate the support of everybody who is here today, and I want to have a tip of the hat to a candidate who is with us. There are 3 people who are running for the United States Senate later. General Burt Miyazawa is here in the back, so make sure you say hi to him. There are 3 people who've made the ballot: Kim Farrington, Burt, and David Williams. But Burt is putting in the work on the road. Whenever I see a candidate who's worked to get on the ballot, I think we should make sure that we notice who's in the room. Yesterday I was in Culpeper, and it was great. There were a lot of nice people and everything, but I'll tell you, there were some mean, nasty Democrats. I can see them coming, their lips turned up. Some of them have purple hair. It's easier when you can spot them that way. But this lady came up, and she put her finger right in my face and said, "You lost for lieutenant governor, didn't you?" And I said, "Well, yes, ma'am, I did." And she said, "Just remember, you're a nobody, and we're going to keep it that way." Well, I got a sharp tongue, radio host, you know, but I tried to keep it classy. I said, "Let me tell you something, lady. With your Long Island accent, I'm about to put you in your place. Don't you ever forget, I'm a Virginian, and that means I'm going nowhere. This is my home state, and you and your people in the Democrat Party are not going to steal my voice." And that is what this comes down to, folks. When I was in Culpeper, when I was in Gloucester, when I was in Matthews County, Virginia Beach, Chesterfield, Henrico, in Giles County the other night, in Bristol, I've had people come up and say, the modern Democrat Party is very different from the Democrat Party that was around when my old boss, Ronald Reagan, was dealing with them. And I remember the president saying when I worked for him, you don't want to do anything that turns an adversary into an enemy. You know, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to fight over stuff. It's okay to vote. It's okay to debate. But don't do something that turns people into enemies if you can possibly avoid it. And I would suggest to you that what the Democrats have chosen to do now is tell you that they want to create enemies in this state, and that is not the Virginia way. There are folks all over this state who have said, the Democrats took my statues, the Democrats take my money, the Democrats are trying to take my guns very aggressively right now, and now they want to take my vote too. Don't let them tell you, oh, you still get to vote. Sure, you'll get to vote, you just won't have a voice. And we all know it. That's what's happening, is the desire by enemies to silence what you believe in, so that you wake up on election day and you know that wherever you cast your vote, it really doesn't matter, because the people in Northern Virginia are going to make that decision for you. I've lived in California. I've lived in Midtown Manhattan. I've lived in Washington, D.C. I know how bad it is to wake up on election day and realize, as a Republican, I'm irrelevant to the process. And it's already been picked. Who's going to be on the city council? Who's going to be the mayor? Who's going to be the congressperson? The only thing you hope you have some influence in is who's going to be the governor. We don't want that to happen in Virginia. And I still think, as a native Virginian, at 55 years old, there are enough decent people in both parties who respect each other, who will make sure that we don't create an environment in which 40+% of the people of the state are disenfranchised. I had former Speaker of the House of delegates, Bill Howell, on my program the other day. And he recounted how he personally stopped a gerrymandering effort by his own party, by Republicans, and said, that's not the Virginia way. We win because we convinced the voters to support us. I had former Governor Bob McDonnell on my show on Friday, and he told the story about how he vetoed new lines that would have disenfranchised Democrats. And he did it because it wasn't the Virginia way to steal the votes by drawing maps from people that you may disagree with. And so we're going to make a decision on April 21st what kind of state we live in. One where we're not all going to agree, and we're probably not all going to get along, but we make the commitment that we will be fair to each other. And I hope you will reach out to the people you know in this community who may not come to a rally like this, and they may not like President Trump, they might not have liked Glenn Youngkin, and tell them that this is the kind of commitment you're making, to be a decent person, a fair person, a Virginian, and keep these maps fair going forward. And I'm honored to be with you. Let's go win this thing on April 21st.
Vote no. It's my honor right now to introduce a young lady who I have grown to respect and admire over the years since she's been in the public sphere. Mother, helicopter pilot, Navy, commander, medical practitioner, you name it, she's done it. If you're looking for a warrior in this United States Congress, somebody who will both stand for what she believes in, stand up to party leadership when she has a disagreement with him, some of which I have been the only person behind her on in our conservative ecosystem in media. It is my honor right now to introduce conservative warrior, Congressman, second District, Jen Kiggins.
Well, good afternoon, Louisa County. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Congresswoman Jen Kiggins. I come here all the way from Virginia Beach. I represent the great 2nd District, so over in the southeast corner of Virginia. But there's a reason that I'm here with you today in Louisa County. And yesterday, I had the privilege of spending the day with Congressman McGuire. We had former Governor Glenn Youngkin and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. And we started in Lynchburg. We went to Rockingham County. We ended up actually in Northern Virginia, up in Great Falls, so we went that way too. But to tell this story, to let you all know how important this election it is, how important it is that you all get out there and use your voice and the power of your vote. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. I had the privilege of serving in our great Navy for 10 years as a helicopter pilot, so special shout out to our veterans out there. We appreciate you every day. Married to an F-18 pilot who flew for 20 years. I'm also a proud Navy mom. So that's a priority of mine, certainly up in Congress. But I got out of the Navy, raised my 4 children with my husband, and then went back to school on my GI Bill. I'm currently a geriatric nurse practitioner, so practice in healthcare, and like to lead on a lot of those discussions in Congress. I represent a very purple district down there. I'm one of the seats that we flipped in 2022 to give ourselves a Republican majority in the House of Representatives. If we didn't flip that seat, we'd still have a Democrat majority. As you may or may not know, we had a 1-seat majority until a special election last week. We now have a 2-seat majority, 2-seat Republican majority in the House of Representatives. If we don't win seats like the one we won in Southeast Virginia, Virginia's purple 2nd Congressional District, we don't get a Republican House of Representatives majority. But I'm here to tell you how we did it. And how we did it is by voting and working hard. And we spent years telling the people of Southeast Virginia and Hampton Roads how important it was for you all to use your voice. That's powerful. That's how we win in these tough seats and these tough elections. That's how we're going to win next Tuesday. It's a week from Tuesday. It's less than 10 days away. So early voting will be this week. Go on your Department of Elections website if you don't know where that is. Figure out where it is, and you can't just show up alone. You have to show up with other people. I know you guys all have friends out there. I mean, you got a week to make some if you don't have any, but go find some friends. You cannot show up alone to this election. Last night, because we were in Great Falls last night, I did spend the night, unfortunately, in DC, so I had to drive down here. But I saw, as I got closer to Louisa County, so many more vote no signs. In the middle of places I didn't expect to see them. People are engaged, people are paying attention. The Democrats have spent $50 million plus on this election. We're getting there, we're about just over 15 million, so we're working on our side. But that amount of money should wake everybody up. The amount that's the investment here they've made in the Commonwealth, to take away your voice, to take away your representation. If you look at our 11 members of Congress that we have right now that represent the Commonwealth, we have 5 Republicans and 6 Democrats. That's about a 45 to 55% split. That's about even, right? If you look at the presidential results, Trump had 47, Harris had 52. Wish it was a little different, but that's how the vote turned out. That pretty much equals our congressional representation. That was the result of an independent redistricting commission that we voted on 5 years ago. 67% of Virginians said yes, an independent commission should draw fair lines. It's pretty fair. It's pretty evenly split. I wish the tables were turned. We had 6 Republicans, 5 Democrats, but we're working on getting a brighter shade of red, but right now it's definitely a purple Commonwealth. So we fight hard to keep it in those even spaces. If they're successful on Tuesday, the 21st, you will have 10 members of Congress represent the Commonwealth, and one that are Democrat and 1 Republican. That's 92%. 92% of Virginia would be represented by 1 political party. And I'm a big believer in no matter what your political values, your political ideology, your just political priorities, you should have the representation that represents that. And 92% of 1 political party, of the Democrat Party representing Virginia, is not that. It's about a 50-50 state. You all, especially in this part of Virginia, would be disenfranchised and silenced. And that's not right. It's unconstitutional, it's illegal in my opinion, and it's un-American. So we deserve better than that. I'm here to tell you though, the power of what we can get done when we work hard. We flip seats, we take back House of Representatives, and we take our Commonwealth and our state back. So please get out there and vote. It's more important than ever. I can't overstate that, but I look forward to watching those results come in. Again, you got a week to get this done early or do it next Tuesday, but I appreciate my colleagues and friends that are here too. Thank you to Senator Cyphers, who did a wonderful job of just laying out his fight in Richmond, and Delegate Fowler. Those guys are the front lines, and let me tell you, the fight is real. It's real in Richmond, the issues that they laid out, but it's real up in Washington. We have real fights in our face, and I see it every day, and I'm so proud to serve with my colleague, John McGuire. It's certainly an honor to have him up there too, but we need each and every one of these seats, but we need your help this time on Tuesday. We're gonna need your help again in November, so this is just a dry run, but thank you all for being out here. Thank you for caring about our Commonwealth and our country. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the Commonwealth, and God bless our great country, the United States of America. Thank you.